We did get that 1-star review that was upset about how much you cursed during the Killing Eve episode.
Wait, like within the past?
Since the show stopped, yeah.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We got 2 1-star reviews since the podcast went off the air.
Wow.
One said, want it to like them.
Oh.
And said, their cursing is too frequent for an intellectual conversation. It's a big distraction from their topics. And then there's a 1-star review from February 19th, 2022, just titled Killing Eve. And it says, useless chatter, boggled the plot, tripped over each other to bring things in, confused Sandra Oh for Judy Comer in terms of accents, not even worthy of a single star.
Wow, that was Shannon's episode too.
That is incredible. Was that Shannon's episode?
This is why we got rid of the podcast. What's up, everybody? It's Julie and Kathleen.
Wow.
With another episode, or not another. I mean, yeah.
It's another episode.
Yeah,
We're gonna post it. It's been a year and a half.
Wow.
Since we dusted off the mics.
Honestly, I've never felt happier in my entire life.
Time since COVID is not real anymore, and it doesn't feel like it's been a year and a half. Like I don't think I've seen Matt since I left this attic.
Yeah.
In July of 2021, that doesn't make any sense to me. Time-wise, when I walked in, it felt like no time has passed.
Yeah.
But it's good to be on the couch again, baby. We're going to talk about whatever the fuck we want. We're going to talk about shows. There's been a lot of shows. But we're going to talk about shows we would have talked about. We're going to talk about shows we wouldn't have talked about.
Heck yeah.
And we don't have any guests, which we love.
Oh, my God.
It's just a reunion app.
We literally love no guests.
Yeah, as of the time that we're recording this, we don't even know if there will be other episodes after this.
No.
Like, we have no clue what this is.
We just wanted to hang out. And I will say, for the 1-star reviewers, I don't fucking apologize. And I hope you thought, you know what, I'll give them one last chance. Fuck you.
Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this show that we gave 1 star to has posted a new episode, so let's see if they've cleaned up their act in the last year and a half.
The fuck we didn't.
Well, speaking of that, I did finish Killing Eve within the last, week. So finally.
Really?
Oh, wow. I forgot that I watched that show.
Did you finish it? Season 4?
I don't know.
It's a polarizing ending. I think a lot of people were unhappy with it. I'm not going to spoil it because, it's a 4-season show. They completed it. I think that's all they wanted to do. I'll just say ever since Phoebe Waller-Bridge walked out of that show, it just wasn't. But it is goofy. It's fun and goofy. And I ended up really enjoying season 4. The end, I was just kind of stab me in the heart. But, and not in a good way. Usually I'm make me sob, make me cry. I love that for an ending. No, but what did you think?
It all kind of became background noise to me. I thought the first season was so good, and then each season after that was just kind of oh, new season dropped, and I would have it on, but I wasn't able to focus on it. I felt like there was everything that we're going to talk about. I could break into categories of was able to focus, was not able to focus.
Right. Yeah, but you're the king of zipping through shows during work and stuff.
Yeah. I literally will catalog them into different categories because the only work that I do is editing.
Yeah.
So it's all right, what's going to be background noise while I edit, and what's going to be oh, I'm going to actually
You have background noise while you edit?
Oh, all the time.
That's insane.
That's how I got through the train wreck that was that 90s show, was that it was just on in the background while I was rocking through podcast editing.
I just could not watch that.
It
sucked
so bad.
It was Kenny. We talked about this. Kenny, the one night, was let's watch this show Blockbuster on Netflix.
It was awful.
And I'm why? And he's I don't know. I think it's just going to be nostalgic. Let's watch it. We barely got through 10 minutes.
Netflix cannot do sitcoms.
Off.
They are so bad at sitcoms.
So bad. It was so painful to watch. I literally wasn't even paying attention and was still turn this the fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. I can't even enjoy this as background noise.
Yeah.
I bet Julie, since the end of the pod, has had a baby who is now 1 and change.
She's about to be 1.5.
So what have you been watching with her?
So we watch a lot of Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
She's a Blue's Clues girl.
Okay. She's cute as fuck, y'all.
Yeah.
She's so cute. She's into Sesame Street recently, which Uncle Matt is just loving. He's thriving on that.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she likes Muppet. She's going to be a Muppet fan.
Yeah. She was into Muppet Babies for a hot minute, but It's not as good as the OG Muppet Babies.
No.
It's
no.
just like a cartoon, but
I
she's a
don't know
big
what
Disney girl.
any of that is.
Mm.
Well, know what Julie told me she watched? I don't know if she ever told you. One of our favorite Netflix shows, Julie watched all of Atypical in the last year and a half.
Wait, did we know that?
Yeah, I think we talked about that on the pod.
No, that was before, because you texted me within like the last year that you were like getting emotional at the last couple episodes of it.
No fucking way, Matt. I'm telling you, I was on the pod.
Wait, I
The
think she
final
was on the
episode,
pod.
you just started it
Oh,
because you
okay.
were like, you're like, I do not like like the mom. Like you had like
I
your
did
first
finish
season
it.
hot takes.
So
I
good.
loved it. I cried all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I-
an A+ show.
I can't do like picking on people, anything like that. I'll cry right now thinking about it. I can't. I literally can't do it. It upsets me so bad that people like that exist. And I feel like that show is so good at being like real life
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
look, my eyes are tearing.
There
I'm
are
crying.
tears, folks.
I can't. I texted, I don't know if I texted Matt or Brian, just being like, I'm actually hysterically crying watching Atypical right
Yeah.
now. Like
I think
sobbing.
I honestly think it was
It
me.
probably was you. The bus scene.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, with the canister, like the canteen. Someone peed in his canteen. Oh no, that was in Parenthood. Peed in his canteen was in Parenthood.
That's
was
another
Max.
one that I started, but
That's a big commitment though. That's like 10 seasons, right?
Parenthood's
Yeah, it
only
takes a
6
really long time.
seasons.
Okay.
And
But
it's
that's-
one of the greatest shows of all time.
No, I want to watch. I actually just watched the movie Parenthood for the first time like last month.
is that what it's about?
Matt,
It's based on the
your-
movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your heart, your already gigantic heart will grow 20,000 sizes.
I know it's on my to watch list for sure because I've heard nothing but good things.
You're just gonna flood the house with tears.
But that's one of those ones where that has to be focus on.
Yeah.
Show.
definitely.
Yeah. I don't know where I left off on that show.
Let's talk about Ginny and Georgia. I feel like it's fresh in my mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
It reminded me of you guys because that was one of the shows we binged, we recorded on, and then I never thought about it again
Yeah.
for all of time.
I
And then all of a
actually
sudden-
re-listened to our episode before I started season 2 because I was like, that'll probably be more of a deep dive than the previously on that the show starts with.
I did not listen, and the previously on was not good enough. I was like, what is happening here? Because sneaky, like, so much happens in that show. It is like, you can't tell if it's really good or if it's trash, but the main actresses are incredible. Like Ginny and Georgia are phenomenal. And then everyone, what the most disappointing thing about this season is all the hate Max was getting, and like rightfully so, right?
Yeah.
Like she was being so annoying.
Max
Oh
was
my
driving
god,
me
she was
nuts.
being so annoying, and I
Yeah.
like wanted to be like, I get it, but I was also like, Max, shut the fuck up.
She was
because
our
I'm
runaway
starting
favorite
to
in
hate
season
you.
1, and I could not stand her until
Dude.
like
Well,
7
yeah,
episodes
once
in.
she recovered at the end, but yeah. She was so annoying.
That should have been like a 2-episode plot. That should
they
not have
drug it
stretched
out.
7 episodes.
But I will say Abby grew on me this
Yes.
season.
Which is so funny. Max just fell into that trap where she has all the reason in the world to be mad, and everyone would have apologized, like it would have been a thing, and then she took it too far, so then everyone ended up being mad at her.
Yeah.
And then she did the flip. It's like,
Yeah.
you can't take it too far, girl. You got to learn the line where you toe it until they apologize and you forgive them. Don't
Right.
like take it so far they're like, fuck off, like they did. Like when she rips down Abby's birthday thing, I'm like, oh my God, you're such a bitch.
I know.
But I love her anyway. That actress is hilarious. in real
She's
life.
amazing on TikTok. I
Yeah.
always watch her TikToks. And she's actually close with, I think the whole cast is close, but she's like super close with Austin, the actor Austin.
Aw.
That's
And
so
like
sweet.
he like raves about her in interviews, and it's really cute, and he's Australian, which is just a fun fact.
He's so good. His last line, like, but I didn't tell anybody. I was like,
I thought season 2 was fucking awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it. Like I think I might have liked it better than season 1, if I'm being honest here, which is hard. That's hard to do. Sometimes it's like, why
Yeah.
are we doing this? Ginny and Marcus this season,
Yes.
early on, like I was like obsessed with them. It was
Well,
like a Corey and Topanga thing for me. I was like,
Here is my one complaint. This is like I've become too old. I'm nearing 40. I was so uncomfortable with how long the sex scenes were between teenagers on my TV. I was like, this is. And then Georgia, who's like a very sexual being, we see not a moment of
yeah,
sex.
that's
with.
actually true.
I was like, that's really like that. I felt uncomfortable with, like the fingering scene that was like 3 minets long. I was like, this is too much.
Matt wants to see George's tits, not Ginny's.
Yeah, I know.
He was like, where's the sex
Yeah,
scenes?
where's happening here?
Well, that's funny.
Where's the boobs? Is what I kept saying while I watched.
Not to completely switch shows, but I'm going to. Did you watch Yellow Jackets?
I still haven't, and I've heard you rave about it on Binge Town, so I know that's on and I like my undying love for Christina Ricci. Like I should absolutely be watching.
We got to talk about Wednesday too. But
yes.
So
yes, we do.
Jasmine Savoy, who plays Thaisa in Yellow Jackets, which you have to watch. It's like gonna be like franchise incredible. It's already so good, but Showtime is really just one of those shows that nobody watches because nobody has it.
Yeah.
But Showtime's merging with Paramount, so hopefully that helps. But so they're supposed to be teenagers, right? The premise of the show is it's so funny that like we have missed like House of the Dragon, White Lotus, like all of these like big juggernaut shows we just like fully missed on this podcast. But so the premise is you're going to love this. A high school soccer team is going to nationals in 1996 and crashes in the wilderness, and they have to survive. But then you flip to them being adults, but only a few of them as adults because you don't know who survives. They end up being there for 19 months in the wilderness. And this is like not a spoiler alert because it's literally the first scene of the episode. They turn to cannibalism, like with each other. So it's like a savage, awesome show.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point of this is, as a podcaster, right, like we talk through these episodes and like scene by scene sometimes, and like in this past episode I watched of Yellow Jackets, episode 6, there's a scene of Jasmine Savoy supposed to be a teenager and she's topless.
Yeah.
Like you fully see her boobs, and I was like, I know in my heart she's like 25 or 26.
It's an issue I've started to have with like slasher movies that I watch from the 90s where they'll have like a 22-year-old, but she's playing a 16-year-old and we're seeing her naked in the shower. And I'm like, this is kind of still ick. Like I know that that's a 22-year-old woman, but my brain is she's a high schooler and this feels real ick now to be looking at it.
Yeah. Do you ever feel that way? Because
I actually like get very awkward during sex scenes. Like I don't know why. It just feels like something I shouldn't be watching. Like I feel like I'm just like still like 10 years old, just being like covering my eyes. Like
what had good sex scenes was White Lotus season 2.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Theo James, that's something I could watch. I'm tuned in.
Those were wild.
Yeah, that was good stuff. I was obsessed with White Lotus season 2.
So I like season 1 better.
I'm with you.
Unpopular
actually.
opinion.
That is you are the only 2 people that I've talked to that ever said that.
Yeah, I don't know why. I just like I wasn't like fully loving season 2 as much as everyone else was. I don't know why. I didn't think it was bad. It was not at all me saying season 2 was bad. I just liked season 1 better.
I also think that it's because season 1 is one of the rare shows that was never written to be more than that one thing. And then it was just so unspeakably popular and well received that they're like, all right, we'll do another season of it.
Yeah.
But I think that that's what I liked about season 1 was season 1 felt like a story that Mike White really wanted to tell. And I like season 2 a lot, but it does feel like, oh, we have to do another season of this. To a certain extent.
I see that.
Like, it's just, I don't know. But I think they're both great. Like, they're both like 5-star seasons of television. I could only rewatch one, I would probably rewatch the first season.
I think my brother explains it as he watched both this year. So he was like kind of unbiased, run right after another so he could watch season 2, even though you don't really have to watch it. It's only Jennifer Coolidge. And he was like, people pitched it to me as a murder mystery. And you kind of go through season 1 thinking, where the fuck does this murder come in? And it doesn't until the end. Like, if you didn't know it was a murder mystery, I mean, of course, in the beginning you see the casket.
Yeah.
But like, he's like, it felt like you're just watching... It was pitched to him incorrectly.
I was going to say, because it was pitched to me as, it's like if Wes Anderson made a TV show. And I was like, oh, sign me the fuck up. Because I like that vibe.
It's just observing people and in their shittiest moments. And like, but Sutton, come on. Daphne in that show was a 10 out of 10.
I never liked her. The whole season, I was like, she's amazing. She is amazing.
No words.
Someone definitely pitched that wrong to him because I also spent most of the first season. I watched the entire first season in one day at my brother Brian's house when I was visiting him in Georgia. And for me, it was like every little thing. I'm like, oh, is this the person who ends up in the coffin? Like I was constantly trying to figure out based on their storyline, like who's the most likely to be dead, and I was never right. Like, I don't want to spoil it for people who watch it, but like the person who actually ends up in that casket was literally the last person I was anticipating. So it's like, oh damn, they got me.
The most graphic scene I think in season 1 is when the manager's eating that young kid's ass.
Yeah. There's moments.
Hated that. I was like that stuff. Like, I'm like, come on, man.
So I actually love that, but
I was gonna say I didn't hate Julie. Something that Kathleen and I would have 100% made you watch if we were still doing this podcast that you would have hated no matter what episode we picked would be The Boys.
100%. Oh my god,
which is just
so graphic.
filled with some of the most graphic shit you've ever seen in your life.
It just makes me like super cringy. Or
love
not
The
cringy.
Boys.
That's
The
not the
Boys-
right word that I want to use.
Icked.
No, not even like icked. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I guess icked. Yep,
Icked,
that was me doing
Yeah,
icked. Like,
yeah.
I just like I don't.
She's
I don't
unnerved,
know.
y'all. She's squirming in her seat.
I am. Like, I'm just like, I don't like watching people get railed.
Yeah.
It just makes me uncomfortable.
I definitely don't like. I mean, look, if two consenting adults are having a fun time, I'm fine with it. I've definitely gotten to the point where it's like I could live the rest of my life happy never seeing a rape scene in a TV show or movie again for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So this isn't a show, but Luckiest Girl Alive.
Yeah.
That was like brutal to fucking watch.
With Mila Kunis.
So I texted Kathleen because I don't know why I just like assumed you were gonna watch it the same minute that we were watching it, and
Our
you were like, "What
brains
is that?" Like, I was just like, we're both laying in bed eating popcorn watching this. And I texted her. I was like, "Let me know when you watch it," because that's all. I was just like fucking pissed. And I get it; it's a book, and like they're doing the book justice.
But
I'm
you
sure
can do that stuff off camera. Like, it's the same thing with 13 Reasons Why. That first season is so good, but I could really do without actually physically wating.
Well, the one scene
stuff
they
they had
took
to
out.
cut, like.
I guess it was.
But it's just like stuff like that where I'm like, I'm sure someone will tell me that I'm wrong about this, but like I feel like I have never seen a rape scene filmed classy. You know what I mean? It always feels like exploitation. It always feels gratuitous and too much. So like just have it happen off camera and throw it in there as a line of dialogue of what happened. Like, I will still want the person who did the rape to die. Like I don't need to see it to want them no longer living in the rest of the show.
Yeah, I agree.
Me and Kenny watched The Sopranos. I mean, Kenny's seen it a million times, but I was finally like, after watching like Spot, I think I stopped at season like 4. I think there's 6 seasons. I stopped at 4, and then he just like went on without me. Like, it was like he was acting like he's never seen it before and just like carried on.
Yeah.
But Tony's like therapist gets raped. There's like a rape scene.
Ugh.
And I'm just like, hate this. And then like she doesn't tell him, and I'm like, dude, Tony Soprano will protect you. Let's get this fucking rapist killed. And he never tells her. She never tells him.
Well, how do you know that they don't do it in season 5 or 6?
No.
Did you ask Kenny? Like, did she ever tell him?
No, I just don't think she. I don't think she did. I think because when it happened, like I was like laying in bed, like screaming at the TV, like fucking tell him. And Kenny was just like, she doesn't. Tell him.
You
I'm
know,
like, ugh.
You know what journey I've been on that reminds me of you, because we're doing a very slow and steady. I had listened today to one of our podcasts. One of our last one, I think it was our last quarantine episode, and you like opened the app being like, well, nothing's changed. I'm still watching Vampire Diaries, which made me like laugh out loud.
You
I was
finished
like,
it on the last episode.
Yeah.
It took me so fucking long to watch that show.
It's almost the entire run of my favorite episode is you watching the vampire.
Literally, like I loved the first like beginning seasons, and then it's just like it was like just dragging for me. Like I was doing like one episode a month because I was like, I'm over this. I don't fucking care. And then everyone's like, you have to watch the originals, and I'm like, I could barely get through the fucking original.
I heard they're all good.
Yeah, I mean,
but the show that I'm watching with Alex is True Blood. So we did a deal where I said, okay, there's 5 seasons of Magicians, there's 7 seasons of True Blood. Why don't we do every other episode or every other season, just to like get our favorite shows, because that's her favorite show. So we finished Magicians and we're on season 6 of True Blood, and I love it. But I actually like did not really like the pilot, but I was like, I'm gonna watch all 7 of these with you, no matter what. It's your favorite, but it ends up being really good. And
I
it's
used
one
to
of
watch
those
that
ones,
show, but
I can't
fell
believe
off.
I didn't watch this before. But Alexander Skarsgård is so hot, and I like it's like feels new to me because like obviously like Theo James and White Lotus, like there's obviously like hot Pedro Pascal and The Last of Us, like I feel things for these men, but Alexander Skarsgård like feels like really out of character for me to just be like, damn,
Yeah.
this man is hot. Or fucking Joe Manganiello from like that's married to Sofia Vergara. Oh my god, he's so hot. You know what I'm talking about? You don't know who Joe is? Look at this hot man.
Oh yeah, he's hot.
But anyway, so True Blood was good. That's his journey I'm still going on because we keep interrupting it for like Killing Eve season 4, Yellow Jackets rewatch, things like that. But we'll finish it. Did you ever watch that, Matt?
I saw the first season of True Blood and it did nothing for me, so I just kind of stopped at that point.
I would say season 1. I did this. I said this on the pitch down for Binge Town. My girlfriend came on and did a pitch down for it, and I was just like, I was not expecting it to be in like a hobunk town in Louisiana. Like I just wasn't. I was expecting like a sleek little like fucking Mad Men of True Bloody,
yeah.
And it was not. And I was like, what in fresh hell? What what the fuck is going on in this show? It's like so southern. Like Anna Paquin in this like is like, oh
Sookie.
my days, yeah,
Sookie, yeah,
type of.
Sookie.
And I was like, it took me a little bit to adjust my expectations, but I really like it. I can't wait to finish it.
So
Hop-
I know.
oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
I was gonna say hopping off of Southern Sweet Magnolias.
I never watched season 2.
I couldn't finish it. Remember
No.
we were texting and we were like, "What the fuck is this show about?" I still don't know. Did we watch it?
No, that was literally my favorite thing was that at one point you guys texted me and were like, we're going to do an episode on Steel Magnolias. So I watched Sweet Magnolias. I watched the whole first season and then you're like, yeah, we decided we have nothing to say about it. And I was like, good, because I had zero. I was like, it is fine.
So little to say about it that we don't even know if we watched it. I'm like, I still could not tell you what happened in season 1. I have no fucking idea. I watched the recap 37 times.
I did not watch recap, and let me see if I can recap it for you. Jamie Lynn Spears is in that show. She is
Correct.
pregnant with the baseball dad,
Who is
the redhead's
Oz.
ex-husband.
And Oz from American Pie, Hot Tay.
Oh, yes, it is Oz from American Pie. And then there was a car accident at the end, and that's the whole show. And then I watched the first 10 minutes of the season 2, episode 1. They tell you who was in the car accident, and I said, thank you.
Thank you and good night.
Yeah, there was like a big fight with all the kids at the end. They were at a party and they all put their phones in a basket. So like no one knew, like, and then one of the little kids jumped in the car and he shouldn't have been in the car. And then they got in an accident. And that's Steel Magnolias.
Yes, it's good old Steel.
The Steely Magnolias.
Yeah, so anyways.
Toonie in.
Yeah,
Toonie.
Toonie.
I was going to say the show that is like captivated me will 100% be my favorite thing that I watched in 2023 already is unsurprisingly a 10-year-old animated show on Disney Plus. Have either of you ever seen Gravity Falls?
Mm-mm.
Kathleen, I know you're not an animation person. You will fucking love this show. It is a serialized animated series. It's like 40 episodes. And it's about 2 kids. One is voiced by Kristen Shaw from like Flight of the Conchords and Bob's Burgers. She's the voice of Louise and all that.
Okay.
And they spend the summer at their uncle's oddity shop. Like they live in a town where like every paranormal anything is real.
Okay.
And he like has this little like tourist trap oddity shop that's just like all bullshit. But then it just unweaves this whole mystery where they start to uncover the secret of why all of the paranormal activity is drawn towards this area, and it becomes like this crazy existential like heavy show
On Disney?
on Disney. That's why it got canceled after 2 seasons, because they're like, this is too much for kids. We'll let you finish the story, but like you've got to finish it next season. Like we're not doing more of this.
Yeah.
And now it's got like this cult following because people are like, this is amazing. Jennifer Coolidge is a regular voice on it. Like it's
Wow.
all these big names, but it's like it's literally like Twin Peaks for kids. Like it's just like as many mysteries and twists and turns as Twin Peaks.
How long episodes? Like 20 minutes?
22 minutes.
I could be interested because I did watch Arcane
Yeah.
last year, and that's not something I would usually watch, which was good. So
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards, okay, I'll give these things a try.
And I do have to give a shout out. I listened to the Bingetown end of the year.
Yeah.
And your producer, I think it was, whoever's very rarely on the microphone.
Dave
sang the praises of what was the best new show of 2022, which is The Rehearsal. The most
sorry.
Oh,
no. Tyler.
Okay.
Jimmy's best friend Tyler. The Rehearsal. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It is the most uncomfortable thing I have ever watched, and I have never spent more time discussing with people who also watched the show if what we witnessed was real or fake.
I think it's
crazy.
Fake.
I think it might be. I think it might be scripted. But Joy, do you know anything about that? So,
oh my God.
Do you remember Brian used to watch that show Nathan For You, where it's like the really awkward comedian and people would hire him to like fix their business? It was like a Comedy Central show.
No, I don't remember that.
His whole thing is like he makes uncomfortable situations more uncomfortable. Like that's his whole gimmick. So he created this show called The Rehearsal, and the concept is that the way he perfected his improv when he was doing Nathan For You was they would rehearse like multiple different ways that a scenario could go so that he had multiple answers locked in, so that like he can't script what people are going to say on the show, but he can guess a few different ways that they would react to information and be like prepared to like yes end that situation. So he's like, I'm going to use this to help people figure out how to get through like their biggest issue. And the first episode is just a guy has been lying to his trivia team that he has a master's degree when he doesn't. And he's like, well, we're going to make sure that we rehearse out exactly how you're going to tell that.
It's crazy.
But they literally
crazy.
Build an entire replication of the place where they play trivia. They hire lookalike actors and they like run through over 300 different scenarios on what could happen during that conversation until he's prepared to have the conversation. I truly believe the first episode is like a real reality show thing. Where the reality breaks is the second episode is a girl who wants to be a mom, but she doesn't know if she's ready. So they build out this entire scenario where over a 2-month period, she's going to experience having a child from a newborn all the way up to an 18-year-old with a 24-hour docket of child actors that they're rotating through at all times. And like the kids age every day.
But the kids also like child labor laws. Like they can only be there for like a certain amount of hours. So they keep swapping out the babies and
like
stuff. It's really crazy. And then she's like dating this guy in the middle of it. And that's when I had to turn it off. Because the guy being with Nathan in the car and them talking about stuff, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
So have you not seen beyond that point?
No.
So I'll tell you what happens next because it might hook you back in. She's having a fake relationship with a guy because she's like, well, I'm a Christian. I can't imagine having a kid without a husband. So they have to cast a husband for her in this fake scenario. But the husband turns out to be kind of a fuckboy and she gets like pissed. So him and Nathan have an argument, and then where the reality starts to crumble is Nathan agrees to step in as the husband throughout the rest of this scenario. And then it turns into this like psychological thing where the woman's like, you're not even doing this for me. Like you're doing this for you because you don't have a kid of your own. And it turns into this chaotic, like you're just like, what the fuck is going to happen next? Like you're screaming at the TV. And at the end, you still have no clue. And like, I remember the one review was like, it's not the point of the rehearsal isn't if it's real or fake. The point is that Nathan Fielder has made us all question reality.
Yeah. I don't think you should watch it.
No, you shouldn't watch it. But I think that if that sounds like something, if you want to see television that you will probably never see again.
Yeah, it's unique as fuck. It really is. It was shocking because I think that was his number one show.
That was I think that was my number 1 or number 2 show of the year. I was like, this is unbelievable.
His other ones were like Barry, White Lotus, like things like really good shows. And then he picked The Rehearsal, and I'm like, damn, okay. He also picked The Bear, and I was like, interesting.
This isn't a show, but me and Kenny watched The Menu last night.
Oh my God, I've seen it.
So good.
Yeah, it was
we
awesome.
loved it.
Did you watch it, Matt?
Did you watch that?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my
I know
God.
it just dropped on HBO Max, so
Yeah,
I
it's
need
on
to watch
HBO.
that, and I need to watch Barbarian.
Me and
still.
Kenny loved it, and you know Kenny thinks he's like
Kenny
the
hates
movie
everything.
critic. Yeah. He actually was saying that. He was like, you have to ask Matt if he watched The Menu. He
I'll make it
loved
a point. I know he likes
I
to
thought
have
it was
something to
so
talk
good.
about.
Like I was like,
Anya Taylor-Joy is such a slay.
She is.
she
Oh
is.
God, she's
Yeah.
the best.
she's a queen. Yeah.
She's the Queen's Gambit.
She really is.
She is.
The last thing I saw her in was Peaky Blinders, and I thought they underutilized her like crazy in that show. So I was happy that she got like her own movie here to just like dominate, because the chef was incredible. Everyone was so good.
So
I'm like,
good.
oh my god,
So good.
her date was infuriating.
I know I stayed up to date with this. Are you two caught up on High School Musical, the series,
No.
or did y'all fall off?
All right, so Kathleen's not. I am. It's
Okay.
starting to lose me a little bit. It's becoming a little too like Disney Channel-y
Yeah.
for me.
I liked season 3 though. I thought it was fun enough.
I just miss Olivia Rodrigo, and I know that.
Oh,
this
she's
is
gone
like,
forever.
Yeah, she's gone. She's
She
not
wasn't
coming
at
back.
camp at all.
So the first episode,
Half the cast isn't at camp.
yeah, a lot of the cast isn't there, but the first episode, they're all going away to like this summer camp, and Olivia Rodrigo is in California with her mom's meeting her biological dad, which is Modern Family.
Yeah,
Ty Burrell.
Yeah. Is that the redhead?
Oh, Jesse Tyler
Yeah,
Ferguson.
I knew Ty
Yeah.
was in his name. That's why I was like, yeah,
Her dad is Jesse
Yeah.
Tyler Ferguson.
yeah.
This is a Disney show.
Yes.
This-
Yes.
but the song that she wrote, like, there's like
Wow.
1 or 2 songs where I'm like, ooh, that song's really fucking good.
I mean, the songs like are still fire. I
Yeah.
fucking am Olivia Rodrigo stan. I still listen to Sour.
yeah, but that girl
Okay.
needs a new album. Like,
I really hope she doesn't fall into that trap of
Yeah.
like what, I forget what they say, but like your sophomore
sophomore slump.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sophomore
Yeah.
slump. Yeah. But Julia Lester's character comes out as queer in it, right? And she's
And
queer
she's
in real
queer in
life.
real life.
Slay.
Yeah.
Love you, girl.
So I have something that gives me the scaries every time I think about it, and I've never talked to you guys about this.
Oh no.
I'm
I'm
scared.
so ready
I'm
for this.
anxious
I'm actually
already.
like annoyed that like none of you guys called me out on this. So when we did our first interview with Julia Lester, we like one of the questions I asked her was it like what was it like that scene with her, whoever her cousin is, when he makes up the song, like how embarrassing, like forgetting that like that was like not real life. Like I was like in my head, like it was like he wrote that awful song, and like I was like, how embarrassing, right? Like, and like she was like, oh, he's just like so talented, and like
No, that was a fine question to ask, because
Yeah.
he's supposed to be goofy.
Yeah,
in
it's supposed
that.
to be cringe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be
no,
cringe.
but not the way that it was happening in my head. Like,
Julie's imagining if she came home and I was like, hey, I wrote this song for a girl.
yes, that's like I like was thinking that we were interviewing like her character, not her.
The smile on my face is so big, and I'm
and I
like,
think about it sometimes like mid shower, and I'm just like,
Dude,
no, listen,
we all have those moments.
Dude.
I'm the most awkward. She came back.
she brushed it off.
I will tell you that my favorite moment in possibly all of High School Musical, the series history, is in the last like 30 seconds of season 3, which is that Big Red is nowhere to be seen for almost all of season 3, right? But they're like doing this camp, they're performing Frozen. It's being filmed to be part of like a Disney Channel docu series or whatever. And
Meta.
he shows up in the last episode, and that's like where you're finding out that like Julia's bi and going through
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to the premiere where they're going to premiere the trailer. And that's where they leave us off at, where the trailer, like, now they all hate each other. But it's so funny because throughout the trailer, it's like different people's faces popping up, and they're just like, I'm so-and-so, and I'm going to be blah, 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 like the talking head segments that you see in a reality show. And then Big Red pops up, who has no concept of anything that's happening. He just goes, hi, I'm Big Red. I'm bi. And then it just cuts to the next scene.
Wait, is Big Red bi too?
He's
He
he's apparently also comes out as bi in the last like 5 seconds of the episode.
Well, and they don't all hate each other. They pin it like they hate each
yeah,
other.
they make it seem like they just
Yeah, like they
detest each
tried to
other.
make it like a reality show. Like
Yeah.
Corbin Blue came to create this show, but he's making it a reality show.
Oh, so he's like doing the Laguna Beach of it all. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Other thing that I did not realize happened because of you guys. So I'm doing a podcast right now with Joe Farron, who's been on the show a couple
Yep,
times,
yep.
all about the OC. I'm
Mhm.
watching the OC for the very first time. And one of the segments is that we pick what's the best song in that episode, because like the soundtrack to the OC
Sure.
It's so good.
it's so good, and it's such a time
2000,
capsule.
Like,
Yeah,
5.
yeah,
Oh my
it nails
God.
it. But in one of the more recent episodes, the song that I picked, and I'm going to be vague for a second. I'm like, you know that song? Everybody knows that song. And then I start singing it, and I realize that I also don't know the song.
Let's hear it. What
I
song?
know the song because you two
Wait.
sang it so much on the podcast. It was like, we got more bouncing
California than all your combined. So that was on Laguna Beach once. And then
Correct.
Kathleen did like a tap dance to it for dance. Or
I sure
something.
did. But you know why you
I
heard
said it with
so much?
so much confidence. Like I was like, everybody knows and loves the Bouncing California song.
You heard it so much because one, we recorded Laguna Beach. It
Twice.
was gone. Then we recorded Laguna Beach again, and then you edited it, and then I'm sure you listened to it again. That's why you've heard it 50,000
We
times.
got bouncing California.
I felt like
then all
such an
your
idiot when I
demand.
realized it afterwards. I was like, I have never heard the song in my life. I've just heard Julie Kathleen sing it multiple
It
times.
I mean,
in my-
same thing. It was iconic.
Again, I can do the dance for you. It's not tap, it was jazz. I could do it.
Yeah,
But
get it right, Julie.
That's a good segue to Laguna.
It is, but real quick, we can still talk about that because I'll loop it back around. The OC is on my list for this year because I've only ever seen like the first 3
you'll love
episodes
it,
plus
you'll
Chris
love it.
Mecca episode, of course.
We'll get you on the podcast.
Oh, I would
Can
love
you
that.
tell me when you watch it? I'll watch it with
Yeah.
you.
And then
Virtually.
it reminds
I love
me,
it.
I've been rewatching One Tree Hill with the podcast that the 3 main girlies are doing, and it's like so good. Like I'm really staying true and watching one week. Sometimes me and Alex either fall behind or we skip ahead a few, but then we like are really good about stopping so I can listen to the podcast and whatever. But One Tree Hill is just like I never even watched it until college, but it feels like I grew up with it, and it just makes me feel some type of way. And we're in season 4, and Stephen Coletti just got there, and he's such a baby face. Like I'm sure it was like one of his first acting gigs.
Yeah, I think so.
And he is just like a clean teen and like such a dork, and I love him. And
I
we
love
can
him
talk
too.
about Stephen and Kristen's podcast,
Yes,
Back to the Beach.
Back to the Beach.
I'm
They're
not
on
caught
season
up.
2 right now.
I'm not caught up, but I watched up and through Cabo.
Yeah.
Now, how many episodes are in each season, though? I thought that they
Just
were pretty
10 or
short.
12.
So this is a very short shelf life for a podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's kind of cool because like they're just basically like fake. That's fake. Like, and it's like
Yeah.
kind of crazy. Like, so they their finale episode of season 1, they had Lauren Conrad on, which is just iconic because like the Lauren and
I
Kristen
still haven't listened
beef.
to that.
And do you care if I spoil something?
No, go ahead.
Oh, so she's basically like, like Kristen's like, I mean, there wasn't like really beef with us. Like we didn't really like hate each other. And she was like, none of us were fighting over Steven. We were all hooking up with Talon. And I was like, a fucking plot twist. Like, and basically like what happened was when MTV came to their high school, I think that they said like Kristen and Steven had just broken up. And the LC thing started, and MTV just like attacked that. It was
Yeah.
like that's our love triangle for season 1.
Remember
like we're gonna
Brian's-
focus on that.
Brian's old roommate dated Vinny during the first season of Jersey Shore, and you would not find her in a single frame
Yeah,
of that season because they're like, yeah, she's not really dramatic. She's kind of quiet. So they just
Yeah.
filmed around her for the entire.
Did he hook up with anyone in the first season?
Not really. Vinny's almost not in the first. Like he's there, but like
like
if you
Vinny.
watch
I
the
love
first
Vinny.
season, like the Vinny Pauly D relationship really doesn't start until late in that season and early in season 2 because I think he was like in a relationship with
yeah.
somebody.
And she basically said like all that like anxiety that you watch Vinny go through is like completely real. Like it's not scripted. Like he's like a very anxious person. Like
Aw.
yeah, like Big Mama's Boy. Like that's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
like written.
I saw-
I love Vinny and Pauly D.
Me
I think
too.
that's like
I
what,
always did.
yeah, and I like Situation now that he's sober. Sober
Yeah.
Situation's a fun time.
I just saw a TikTok of Vinny's like penthousey type apartment in New York.
I saw it too.
And I'm like, geez, this is Jersey Shore money.
Yeah.
yeah, and then he was
Fuck.
on Dancing with the Stars. Did they win? Did he win Dancing with the Stars?
No,
There's
no.
zero chance.
Yeah.
I
It's
haven't
always
watched a
I
someone-
think
single
he got
frame.
pretty far.
He might have gone pretty
Yeah.
far because
Oh
reality
no, Charlie D'Amelio won.
Yeah.
reality stars, reality fans watch other reality shows,
So they'll
it
keep them on
tracks.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Longer because it'll keep the
Yeah, and they'll
ratings.
Yeah.
vote.
Yeah.
And
I did watch season 2 of Love is Blind,
I did not.
but I
Shane.
didn't watch. Oh my god, it's so hard for me to watch stuff because it's so cringe. I was like a big Bachelor and Bachelorette girl. Like that was like my guilty pleasure
Yeah.
show, and now like I can't even do it. Like I'm
Did-
like, this is so hard for me to
I
watch.
have to ask you because I think I made an argument. I think I put Love is Blind as my number. Love is Blind season 2 is my number 10 greatest TV of the year because of. Did you watch the reunion episode that they did for season
Yes.
2? When everyone just turns on Shake for a full hour.
Literally, but
It
he was
was-
such a douche.
It was Kathleen. I have never watched a show like, like usually they do like the reunions of the reality shows and they're kind of like they're having fun and they might like poke. This was like every single one of them was like, you're a piece of shit and you should feel bad about yourself. Then he tries to hit on Nick Lachey's wife and she's like, I wouldn't fucking touch you.
Yeah, literally. It's bad.
Like, it is just the best reality TV I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, it was hard to watch.
I used to be a reality TV girl. Like, I watched Jersey Shore and all of that.
Yeah.
But I'm really not anymore. But me and my girlfriend and my friend Julia and Caroline have started a Survivor. We do Survivor every week.
I'm going to finally watch this new season from start to finish because I watched last season and loved it.
Yeah. Have you seen like all of them or
Never
no?
seen any of it. Brian was home and he was watching it. So I caught like the middle of the season.
Sure.
I was for Owen. I'm like, Owen's a beast.
Yeah.
I could not believe who won this season.
Totally agree. Have you ever seen Survivor? So neither had we. One day we were sitting down, just the three of us actually. Alex wasn't there. We were going to watch the Oscars.
Yeah.
We were at my friend's. We realized we don't have cable or anything.
Dude, you could not find the Oscars this year. My friend and I tried to meet up and watch the Oscars and we ended up just reading Twitter while we had TV on because it wasn't on any streaming site.
So we were like, fuck. And we were like, let's put on Survivor. We put on season 28.
Just a random one.
I think right now airing is 42 or 43.
44 is about to air next
in
month.
March. So we watched.
What is that even on?
It's on CBS.
Yeah, because you have to watch on Paramount
Plus. But it's on Paramount Plus, and I have one with ads.
Same.
And it's the most janky fucking streaming platform ever where, like, God forbid you have to rewind. You're going to have to rewatch all the ads again. Like,
100%.
It's hell.
The nightmare.
But anyway, so we watched 28. It was great. It was such a random season. We didn't know what the fuck was going on. Then we watched the new one, 43. And now we're watching season 20, which is an All-Stars episode. And we have no idea who anyone is. Like, they all are like, and everyone's like, well, I won season 5. And I'm like, great, spoiler alert. It was such a stupid choice, but we're like, we love it anyway. We don't care.
It's like me watching Scream as my first slasher movie, and it spoils like every classic slasher movie. I'm like, well,
Exactly.
I know who's the killer in Friday the 13th now.
Literally. Scream 5.
Did you?
I just thought of something funny.
Go.
So me and Kenny in September, like we were like, all right, spooky season. Let's like try to have like 2 to 3 nights where like we go to bed together. We put on like a scary movie or whatever. So it was cute. It didn't last long because then like Dahmer came out and we watched Dahmer.
Sure.
And then we were just like, all right, that's enough scary stuff.
Yeah, that'll do. That'll do.
We're scared. All right, happy Halloween. So the one night we put on like it was like Friday the 13th, like one of the like super old ones, you know, the ones that are like hard to watch.
And
whatever.
there's like 10 sequels to that,
Yeah,
so God knows which one.
Kenny's just like, this is. I was just gonna say I think they're at the summer camp, but I'm pretty sure they're all at fucking summer camp.
The first 4 are definitely.
Yeah,
And then
so,
it bounces all over. But
so we're laying in bed, we're watching this shit movie, and there's like a light beaming in our window, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Kenny's like, can you go look to see like what the fuck that is?
He's such a coward.
So I'm like,
he's the man. He gets
all
up
that,
and look.
all that karate.
So I'm like, yeah, I guess. So I'm like, I peek out the window. I'm like, I don't know why I said this so calm. I was like, your car is getting repoed.
Wait.
And he's like, ha, yeah, okay.
Wait, what?
Wait,
And
Kenny's
I'm like-
car got repossessed?
And I'm like, your car.
Wait, why was
They're
it?
taking your car away. And Kenny's in nothing but boxers, like tight ass boxers, and he like jumps out of bed and he's just like, what do I do? So basically he thought his car was getting like automatically taken out, just like not.
Oh, the car payment.
And it wasn't, and the letters were getting sent here. So then one night they just randomly repossessed it. And he was like, what do I do? Like, what do I tell? I'm like, I don't know.
How long was he not paying for?
It was like 3 months not paid.
I was going to say, because I probably would drop off the mail once every 4 months and be like, here's the pile I've
accrued. It's kind of shitty, like how quickly it happens, but I get it. Like they're like, dude, we reach out to you. But it was so fucking funny. Like now we laugh about it. I was like fucking pissed. We had to pay like $1,300 to get it back.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like it is not make your car payments.
How did you not realize it was coming out of your? It wasn't kind of.
He's so stupid, and he probably doesn't even look at his account. Like he's probably like, oh, this is what I have, and just
I
like
meticulously probably check my bank account
I
twice
check mine
a day.
like 6 times a day.
Yeah, I'm constantly like, oh, I'm gonna go get food. Let me make sure
Well,
that
especially
this doesn't
in today's world where like shit's getting hacked left and right.
Oh,
like
dude.
I'm checking my bank account all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my funny story.
I love it. First of all, when you said repo, I was like, what does that mean? Like I knew it meant like take it away, but I was like, but what does that
like it was
stand
really
for?
funny too because they like shine this light on your house. So it's like basically telling the whole neighborhood like, hey, we're
look at this cheap.
And they put this like flashing light on the top of his car.
Holy shit, that's so fucking funny.
It was so funny. And at first he was like, you can't tell anyone about this. This is so embarrassing. But now like we laugh about it.
Yeah, I had no clue until literally this second.
Yeah.
You being so calm, that's actually like I would pay to see that.
Dude.
You being like, and him be like, haha, and you're like, no.
No, I was like, no, seriously. Like they're taking your car away. Like they're backing out of our driveway.
But I was going to say a reality show similar to Survivor that came out on
Traitor.
Netflix this year. Did you watch The Mole?
That is so funny you said that because today I watched the first 20 minutes of season 3 of Celebrity Mole from early odds.
Okay.
And it's like Kathy Griffin, the dad from Psych, like a bunch of people and like the kid from Brink is on it.
Oh,
and like that's how old it is. And he looks exactly like he did in Brink and shit and Princess Diaries. So you know it's old. And I was like, this is cringe. I don't know if should I watch the new season?
The new season is okay. They're all terrible.
Oh, someone pitched it to me like they're so good.
No, like if you even slightly have a suspicion that a person is the mole this season, you're probably right because they're like all terrible actors. But she wasn't on when you were a co-host. My friend Ashley Victoria Robinson, who came on and did the MASH episode, she's like a hardcore like reality show nerd.
Yeah.
So she was watching The Mole and we would be texting each other after each new like season drop because Netflix does their reality shows like they'll drop 4 episodes a week for like 3 weeks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the one girl, when we found out she wasn't the mole, was a commercial pilot. And we were convinced she had to be the mole because she couldn't read a map and she was a pilot. And now we're afraid to fly.
Wow, that is brutal.
We're like, oh
Basically, it's like a show where they stick a bunch of, in this one I saw was like celebrities and they only had season 3 and 4, so I just clicked 3, and it's like it's like 6 or 8 celebrities, and they're doing these wacky ass challenges. But one person is the mole, so one person's trying to like sabotage what's going on, but be chill about it. And I didn't even get through the end of the episode, but what I deduced was at the end they kind of like vote somebody out.
So what they do, so the way it works, because it took me a second to figure it out, because I just started on the Netflix season, I never watched the show prior. So it's like, let's say it's a group of like 10 people. They're all competing to win the final prize, which is like, let's say $100,000 is like what you can win up to. But you all start with $0. Like that's like the amount of money that you have banked. And you do different like endurance test based things where you have to collect the money. And the producers have hired one person to keep them from winning the maximum amount of money.
Yeah.
But they have to do it subtly enough that people don't realize it's them. And then at the end of each event or whatever, that the activity, they have to answer a questionnaire that's like, the mole is, and it's like male, female. And they have to answer the question based on who they're imagining is the mole. And the person who has the most incorrect answers at guessing who the mole is gets voted out.
Okay, so the mole is doing all the right answers, obviously.
Yeah, the mole will always have a perfect score no matter what.
Okay,
so
I actually like that, but I don't know that I'll ever go back. But maybe I'll watch the new season.
The Netflix season was fun. I actually was talking to someone who just finished it the other day, and we were like geeking out about like some of the twists and turns, because some of the stuff is crazy. Like these are like people where it's like, oh, you have to like scale this mountain in 2 hours, and like each one of you is wearing a backpack, but only 2 of them have money in it, so you have to guess properly which bags have the money and give them to the person you think is most likely to get to the top of the mountain.
Yeah, no, it was definitely wacky. In my episode, they were like chasing lambs around with like card things on their back.
Celebrity Mole may have been a little bit more goofy than normal Mole, because I don't think the celebrities care about the money at the end of it, whereas like these people really do.
All right. I wrote some quick. This is quick. We don't have to I'm not going to go into I wrote some categories. So the first category is shows that I think Matt and Julie would love since whatever. Bad Sisters on Apple TV.
I don't have Apple TV.
I'll give it to you.
I will write that down.
Easy. Okay, I will give a quick pitch if you've never heard of it. So,
what's it called?
Bad Sisters. It's both of you show. You're going to love it, except anxiety inducing, because here's the point. The worst villain I've ever seen in television history. It's 5 sisters, and one of them is married to the worst guy in the world. Basically, the premise is the season opens with him dead, right? And then the whole season, you're trying to figure out who killed him.
Yeah.
And the sisters fucking hate him and are like actually attempting to kill him, but they all attempts keep failing, and it's like funny but anxiety ridden, and you're gonna love it, and it's picked up for a season 2. So that one is really good. If you need an Apple TV password, I will give. Anyway, number 2, Welcome to Wrexham, the Hulu show with Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds. It's like the soccer show. It's basically Ted Lasso but real life. It's so good. It was on Hulu.
I've heard good things
It's
about
like
that.
16 episodes. They're only like 20 to 30 minutes long. And it's basically like they buy a soccer team in Wrexham in Wales. And it's like a failed soccer team. They're at the lowest tier, and they're trying to get them back into like a higher tier. So they like spend all this money, but you get all these like all the information on people in the town, and it's really sweet. And like it opens with like Rob McElhenney from Always Sunny is a Philly guy, so like he goes to his old house in Philly, he goes to Eagles games during the show, so it's like really cool to watch. And Ryan Reynolds is like such a charming bastard,
so fucking hot.
It's just like such a feel good show, and I know you'll both will love it. It's definitely worth a watch, and season 2 will come back because like obviously there's more seasons of soccer, so but you like watch their last season of soccer all the way through, and it's great. It's really good. Okay, now the next one is shows that I think Matt would love.
Okay.
So it says it's Fleischman is in Trouble, which is in Hulu. It's Jesse Eisenberg.
Love it.
Lizzie Kaplan.
Okay.
The Seth Cohen, which I can't remember his name.
Adam Scott.
Adam Brody.
Adam Brody. Yes.
He's hot too.
It's excellent. I would say for you to watch it, but I'd rather you watch the other shows. That's why I put it under the Matt thing. But it's gonna be like, and Kate Blanchett, like it's gonna be like critically acclaimed. You should watch it.
Okay.
I won't say much more on that. And then Insecure on HBO is one I binged all the way through with Issa Rae. It's just like so fucking good, and like I just think it's so different than everything I've watched, and it's like I don't know. I just loved it on HBO. Right. Insecure on HBO. Okay, shows that have me tickled pink.
Loving these categories.
Criminal Minds Evolution, which is the reboot of Criminal Minds with all the same actors and actresses besides Reed. It is really fucking good. Every episode, it's who's the main villain. It's like a whole season worth of villain is Zach Gilford, who is QB1 on Friday Night Lights, like Matt Saracen. Yeah, so fucking good. Okay, Wednesday, which we still have to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yellow Jackets, which we talked about. True Blood. Severance.
That is the top of my to watch
You
list.
have to.
But that's
Severance
like my
need
to focus on.
That is.
Severance is Adam Scott as the main character. The premise of Severance is this. There's a company, just like suspend your disbelief, but there's a company where you can go to work and they literally like basically turn your brain off, and you don't remember anything from work if you're outside of work, and you don't remember anything from outside of work while you're in work. You're like a completely different person. Your brain is wiped. Yeah. But like you get to be your same self outside of work that you always were, but you just don't remember. So like people
don't worry, darling, kind of.
Yeah, like you would have no recollection of who Kenny is or who Mila is or anything. You just know about what your work is, but then as soon as you walk out of work, you have no clue what you do for a job.
It's you're gonna think it's a bit of a slow burn right in the beginning, but I'm telling you, like the finale had me like punching through walls. I was like, this is the greatest.
I went to visit my parents and they were watching watching the final episode and I ran into the back room
Yeah,
because I was like, I
please.
cannot know what's happening
my
in this
God,
yet
it's
because
a
I know
10
I
out of
want to
10.
watch
They
it.
are always on top of these shows.
Do
like that,
they?
I think
Well,
that's
it's
like what empty nesters do. They just like binge. Like they watch All American. I was like,
I'm not
what?
sure
I
about
didn't
you,
even
but I
watch
know
that.
that they text Brian and I for like, what have we been watching?
I
Yeah.
know. Well, I told them to I told them to watch White Lotus, and I think they did.
They finished it already.
Yeah,
I love that about them.
they
That's
watch
the life.
They like watch shows together every night, and like they get pissed if the other one starts an episode without the other one,
yeah.
but they
Yeah.
do it to each other all the time.
My problem is that I keep watching these like 3-episode like true crime docs where I'm like, it's really good, but you're going to knock it out in an evening. Like
Yeah.
it's not like a thing you're going to watch together.
Which I
Yeah.
do want to talk about. Okay, keep going.
Stranger Things season 4.
That is on my
Running
shows
up
that we
that
would have continued to
road.
cover.
Keep
yeah.
running up that hill.
Keep
So
running
good.
up that building. Is that the lyric?
I don't know.
I don't know. But that moment and the Master of the Puppets scene is
Oh,
like
yeah.
one of the fucking greatest moments of 2022.
I think Eddie's back for 5.
I've learned that it is best to just not speculate anything with Stranger Things and just
Yeah.
let the show wash over me. I don't want them to be, but I feel like everybody comes back in that fucking show. The second they brought Hopper back, I was like, ugh. That is my hot take, actually. I
hope
would have
he
liked
does.
season 4 more with less Hopper.
Well,
The Russia scenes, I felt like
Yeah.
dragged down that season so bad.
I definitely agree with that. I mean, I feel like he's dealing with like past season drama
Yeah.
in the current season, but I do like the like Russian guy that they're with.
I
he ended
like-
up being a good character.
I like that. Part of me was like, are we really going to take away what was such a heroic death? And it's like, then if Hopper dies a second time,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, whatever. Like, I already saw the most. Like, that's why I also don't want Eddie to come back, is I don't want to like negate these really heroic deaths, especially if you're going to like bring them back to kill them a second time in the final season.
Sure, I agree with that. But damn, when he was like, well, more like when they were doing the kind of like town food drive and clothes
Oh my
drive,
god!
and
I
like,
could not
oh
a
my
dry.
God,
I was
know.
crying
Ooh.
so hard.
Oh
You know what we're
my
talking
God.
about?
No.
With
When
Dust-
Eddie's
yeah.
uncle is talking to Dustin, and
yeah,
he's oh
stop,
my god.
stop. I know.
Yeah,
I like blacked out every time they would go to Russia.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's
Like I
it
was like,
drags a perfect season
dude,
down to me.
It was bad. Bullying scene when freaking Elle gets
my
laughed
God,
at
yeah.
in class.
Oh.
Hate it. Can't
Oh.
watch it. I
Wait,
fucking hate that
How'd
shit.
you feel when she beat that girl with her
Loved
skate?
it. I was like, fuck her up.
It's just like, why would Joyce put her in that school?
I know.
Like at all.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know what Joyce was thinking on that.
She
call.
needs to be in elementary school.
I
Like you
know.
can't do
Or
a
just
seemingly.
homeschool her. Just
Yeah.
literally
Or
bring
just
like.
don't even send her to school.
Yeah, she's got superpowers. She'll be
She's
fine.
fine.
She could make money.
She's fine.
Literally, but
know.
yeah, that was a great season for Max, who's down for the count again too. She was so
That
great.
was so good.
Sadie Sink, all
Yeah.
too well,
Are
10-minute
we-
version.
And are we just like assuming that Will's in love with Mike? Is that
yeah,
the
Yeah.
assumption?
I mean, that's been pretty clear
Totally.
this season. But
Just this season, I feel like it kind of just like
I bet if you first of all, Mike's barely in, or
no, Mike is barely in
Will's
it.
barely
but
in
yeah,
it.
Will's barely in the first season at all.
Oh, the
so
first season. I thought you
Yeah.
meant this season because Mike,
And-
I felt like was barely in the
yeah,
last
in
season.
season 2, there's a lot of just Will dealing with trauma.
Being captured.
So I
yeah.
feel like last
Right.
season would have been the only chance for us to even start to build that.
There is
Yeah.
a scene in 3 where Mike is with Elle and Will's getting a little jealous and he's like, "It's not my fault you don't like girls," and like says
Yeah.
that stuff to him. So it makes sense. I think he means it as like you don't like girls yet,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
you don't like girls. But there is like signs pointing to like
It
why
cuts
doesn't
extra
he?
deep, yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to remember too, like I was talking about that when we briefly discussed it on Horror Movie Night, and I'm like, I do think that it's interesting because it's so easy to look at it through the lens of 2023 where you're like, well, just come out, like that's great, but it's like, dude, middle of the
No.
80s, you could not,
I
like that was
know.
like
Yeah.
you would have been exiled from the entire city, like
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Sad.
I know.
I-
it's
I-
sad.
it's I don't know, it's good, but I thought it was good. I thought season
Oh,
4 was
so
very
good.
good.
The podcast was done with Euphoria.
Yeah, Euphoria season 2
Yeah, we
came
were a
out.
pre-Euphoria show.
That was
I actually think I might
banger.
rewatch it because I fucking loved that show. Like people kept telling me to watch it, and I was like, I'm not gonna fucking like. I don't know why. I didn't even know what it was about. I was just like, I'm not gonna like it, and then I fucking loved it.
If we're talking about, by the way, to bounce back to the uncle and Dustin scene, and Stranger Things season 4. We're talking about things that made me cry. How about the last 15 minutes of the final episode of Dead to Me?
I didn't watch Dead to Me.
Oh my
you
God.
Didn't finish Dead to Me.
Oh, you will dehydrate yourself from crying at the last episode.
I was weeping.
Yeah,
I was weeping. You gotta finish it.
The
girl.
conversation in the car is all I'm gonna say. That was where I couldn't handle it.
Dead to Me.
I think I'm on episode 3.
When we
2 or 3. How many
Yeah.
are there?
10?
10?
8 or 10.
I know.
Yeah.
I have to finish it. That's on my list of things that I started. but
I
didn't finish.
recall when we were doing the podcast and we recapped season 2 in your parents' basement, we could not get our shit together. We were like, it was so funny. I have a video of it.
Was
we
that
were
where
just
the cake was? Is that the episode where there was a
I think
cake?
that was the cake episode. Remember that? There was
Yeah,
like a
we were
lemon
just sharing
cake, and we. But I have a video of you going, yeah, and I was like, what? And it's so funny. The video, it just perfectly encapsulates us being like, what was the show about? I don't know, because we were just recapping a whole
You were
season.
just eating cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude.
Oh, it was good
Blame
stuff.
it on the cake.
Man,
I
this is a
love
great
that.
show. Fuck you, 1-star reviews.
I
My podcast is
know.
great.
Yeah.
The reason I thought of Euphoria is because Nate's dad
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
couldn't come
son.
out. And
Yeah.
then, he could, you know what I mean? During the time frame that it was
Yeah. Oh.
sad.
Yeah.
You actually kind of feel fucking bad for him. He was not great. I'm not gonna say he was a great adult, but
no.
I was just damn.
Yeah. I mean, he wanted to.
He wanted
Yeah.
He
It was
wanted
the other
to.
guy who
left him or
bounced,
something,
right?
Or
Yeah.
no. He got Nate's mom pregnant.
Right. Yes, correct. Fuck.
Wait, sorry, we got on. What other shows tickled you pink? I believe was
That was it. I
that
did
was
have This Is Us season 4 or the last season on there just because I think they did the perfect job every episode, week by week. It was my favorite episode of television I was watching.
Yeah.
Did you finish it?
No, I think I
It-
stopped when Kevin's in Japan or he's somewhere.
Yeah, he's in Vietnam. They crushed it, and that's another one where I was weeping. It ends I don't know. I'll just spoil a little bit. Her Alzheimer's is it's bringing her all the way down. She dies in the end, and it's Mandy
mom.
Moore's character, and it is just so gut wrenching. I think it stayed strong the whole run. People fell off because at some points of the run, it was just stabbing you just to stab you in the heart. It wasn't
That's kind of the review I'd always heard of it.
so if there's 5 seasons, it may be 6, I forget. Right in the middle, it was full the dad's death. It was really heavy. Everyone dealing with that at all points of life. But then they were making you cry in these beautiful, gorgeous episodes. They
Yeah.
would bring characters on that you've never seen in your life. They did such a great job of making these webs of how people could be possibly connected. And you'll watch a whole episode, kind of like this Last of Us episode, where you're watching an episode of something people you do not know, you've not met before, and you're so encapsulated, you're sobbing, you're like, wow, these people are I'm living this with them.
Yeah.
And they did a perfect job. The writer's room is so talented and hit all the beats I needed it to, and it was just so fucking good. It ended, I think, mid last year, but it was within
did
the
it for
it was
you.
in the window.
Yeah.
So I would really recommend anyone who fell off, just pick it back up. You don't really have to rewatch from the beginning. It's This Is Us. You get the gist. Just pick it up from the beginning of a season and let it rip. It's so good.
So the 2 lists that I did, I'll start with this one, which was shows that I would have probably made us discuss if we had never ended the show. I'm going to skip any of the ones that I already mentioned. So The Boys, Gravity Falls, that's already there. This probably would have just been a full season recap episode. The Welcome to Chippendales 6-part series that Hulu created this year. Have you seen this?
No. Did you know that?
It's from the same people who did Tom and Pammy.
Okay.
Tommy and Pam.
Tom and Pammy.
I had to pause for a second there. It's starring Camille Nanjiani, and it's about
Ooh.
the creation of Chippendales. And I had no clue that there was so much murder tied to that establishment coming to be. So it's a really fascinating show. Something that Julie and I texted about last week. Only Murders in the Building.
So good.
Really?
Just
So good.
So fucking good.
Season 2 was.
I just watched Selena's doc today.
I love Selena Gomez.
She's so good in this show.
Yeah, she is so good in this show.
Did you watch her doc?
No.
It's really sad.
Is it?
A show that I think I liked more than the Bingetown team did, Midnight Club. I would have loved to do a deep dive.
I really liked Midnight Club.
I feel like some of the guys were a little hard on Midnight.
Me and Luke really liked it. I feel at the end we were all kind of like, no, I think me, Luke, Jimmy, and I don't remember who the third.
Yeah, I listened intently though. I put off watching
Paul.
episodes until your episodes came out.
Yeah, we were a little harsher on it once. I mean, it got canceled, so it's like, well, okay.
And then I don't know if I would have made you guys watch this, but I just want to recommend it if you haven't seen it. Murderville. It is a comedy show from Will Arnett where
I heard about this.
The whole premise of the show is that it is a murder mystery, like almost like the board game Clue, but every episode he has a new assistant that is a celebrity who has not been given the script. So everyone else is acting on the script, and the actor has to just improvise through every single scene and then guess who the murderer was based on the questions that they're asking these like actors who are playing bit parts.
I've seen clips on TikTok and was cackling at it. I kept meaning to like figure out what show that was. I didn't even get far enough to be like, what show is this?
Yeah, Murderville.
How long are the episodes?
20 to 30 minutes. You could literally knock it out in a day.
Yeah.
We love short episodes.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Just for some reason it makes it more.
And then the only other thing that I had written down was shows that we had covered in the past that are still on that I think are worth talking about very quickly. Second season of Ted Lasso. Am I the only one that kept watching it?
No, I love Ted Lasso. It was amazing.
Dude.
I don't have Apple TV.
Well, oh my God. I'm going to give you it and you're going to do Ted Lasso. You never saw season 1 of Ted Lasso?
I think she just saw the episode that we covered.
Yeah, we talked on.
Oh, Ted Lasso, Severance, and Bad Sisters.
Yeah. Ted Lasso will make your life feel more complete.
That's your number one.
Yeah.
And watch that before you watch Welcome to Wrexham.
Yeah. And then the only other one that I wrote down that I wanted to mention was Atlanta. So we did an episode on Atlanta. Atlanta finished this season. They aired the last 2 seasons this year. So season 3 was in the beginning of the year. Season 4 was in the later half of the year. And when I tell you that I truly believe that like 10, 15, 20 years from now, people are going to consider Atlanta one of the greatest TV show achievements that has ever been produced, I truly believe it. Because... Wow. Like the first 2 seasons, they are like a very serialized show of like Paperboy the rapper and his ascent. And then from the way I understand it, they wanted more. Donald Glover wasn't sure if he had more story to tell. So he was like, if I do more seasons, it's going to be about whatever I want and I can do whatever I want. So they gave him complete free reign. So he just makes a straight up horror movie episode. He makes like a fake documentary episode. Like, half the episodes, the main cast is nowhere to be seen. The best episode of television in 2022 was a random episode of Atlanta called The Goof Who Sat in the Corner. And it is a fake documentary about the first black president of Disney and how his only goal was to make the blackest movie ever made, which was in fact the Goofy movie.
Are we classifying Goofy as being black?
That's what the whole he's like it is so funny listening to this documentary how they just focus on
Goofy's
the
questionable. Powerline is not. I agree with Powerline. I agree.
He's the singer in a Goofy movie.
Yeah, the concert they go to. That is the best Disney movie.
It is. If you are
good.
a Goofy movie fan, it is. God. You will laugh so fucking hard. And I've heard like 3 different podcasts on their end of the year breakdown be like the best episode of television I've ever seen.
Yeah, I have seen that as well.
It's unbelievable what he's been able to do. He's such a visionary director, and I think he will be like that Jordan Peele that just like takes really heavy social things and turns them into very entertaining horror movies that like shouldn't be as entertaining as they actually are.
Yeah.
I just watched Nope. It was definitely my least favorite of the 3, but
Kenny hated it.
I still liked it. Kiki is a national treasure. She is just fucking incredible.
My thing with Nope was that I said Nope was my least favorite of his 3 movies, but also the one I'm most likely to rewatch because like Get Out and Us stress me out so much while I'm watching it, and like Nope is like just a fun popcorn movie.
Us scared me so fucking bad. Like Kenny was like, you need to fucking chill out. Like this is like a comedy horror movie. Like why are you so scared? The fucking tether voice will haunt me for the rest of my
and
fucking
like the
life.
Head movements
and the scissors and just like everything is so fucking creepy. I did not laugh once. Okay.
Nah, it's so good, especially like when they're killing Elizabeth Moss and all that.
Oh
like
God,
that's
it's
so good.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I
Kiki's
just
the best.
finished The Snow Girl on Netflix. Did you watch that?
No,
I've never even heard
I
of
never
that.
even heard of that.
It just came out on Netflix.
The Snow Girl movie or show?
It's a show. It's like 6 episodes, 40 minutes, and it's about a little girl that was abducted.
Okay.
It made me like sob in bed because when you have kids, it just
Based on
fucking
a true
hits
story?
different. I don't know. I meant to look that up. I don't want to go too much into it because I don't want to like spoil it. But the whole thing is like them trying to like figure out, like find this girl, and it's been like it's going from the time that she disappeared to like 6 years later, where they like cannot find her at all. And then there's like this one like reporter that's like super into it. So I don't want.
Like she was
But you would
missing without
recommend
a
it.
trace.
But
Like without a trace, or they knew someone took her, or like what?
well,
what
they
was the,
knew someone took her. She's like taken at like a parade with her parents.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
But you would recommend it.
I would.
Okay.
It's I don't know what it's called, like what Squid Games is when it's in another language, but they
Okay.
put
dubbed
voice over. Yeah.
dubbed.
So that's how it is. I fucking hate that.
You
It
can
drives
turn
me
that
nuts.
off and put on subtitles. You
But
just
then you'd have to
find-
read it.
Yeah, I mean, so I always have. I'm a subtitle girl now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
she's joined the side of good.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but now I just like can't seem to watch.
It's the only way to watch
television.
things.
Yeah,
It really is.
it's actually like a fun thing to have when like there's like side comments. Like I was rewatching
Yeah.
Laguna Beach season 2 the other day, like just laying on the couch, and one of the scenes is like prom, and Talon's like, check the fridge, and he like says it under his breath, and like clearly to be like, let's get fucked up before prom.
Yeah.
But like you wouldn't catch it unless you had subtitles on it. I was like,
Yeah, I
love
like that.
Snow Girl's good, so watch
Okay.
it because I think you'll finish it fast. I watched season 2 of The Wilds.
Canceled
I
dicks.
know. Oh, was it canceled?
Yes. We'll never know if they'll get off that fucking place.
Damn, hate that.
But how'd you like the boys?
I like the girl season better, but
Yeah.
you know, what can you do?
Yeah, so sad, man.
Yeah.
I love the Wilds. I love
I
it so
know.
much.
I know.
Maybe we'll get a movie.
Yeah. Well, speaking of movies, did you guys watch Do Revenge on Netflix?
Loved Do Revenge.
I could watch that movie 100 times.
What a
I
like
haven't,
campy
and
little
everyone
romp.
tells me it's like the Matt Kelly movie.
It's the Matt
is
Kelly movie.
Such a Matt Kelly movie. You will love it. It is
Okay.
so fucking good.
Yeah,
Watch it tonight. You know what? Get some popcorn and watch it tonight.
It's Maya Hawke, obviously, from whatever, and Camila Mendes
oh
from
my God.
Riverdale.
It's so fucking
a show
good.
I quit.
You quit Riverdale finally.
Wow.
I quit Riverdale. I'll go back. It's the last season. I quit middle of this season, so I could just watch the last like 6, binge them, and then go week by week. It's insufferable to watch more than one
It
at a
is
time.
It's
I
hard.
tried to watch. I think when I was house sitting for my sister one time, I just had Netflix on her TV. There was nothing else to watch, and I was like, I don't know, what do I not care about? And I watched like 8 episodes in a row of Riverdale and wanted to throw myself.
Well,
off the roof.
season one's
season
great,
one
though.
is
no,
amazing.
the newest like season.
Oh
5.
yeah,
never- you didn't
it's
No,
watch-
so
I've watched.
bad.
I've been following Riverdale
Oh,
ever
okay, I
since
forgot
you
you
passionately
rebinged.
talked about. It was the second I heard TBK. I was like,
Oh,
the
yeah,
trash bag
TBK.
killer. I need
Yeah.
to know what the fuck is happening on
Correct.
Riverdale.
Yeah,
Correct.
well, nobody knows
And
what's
now
happening
I saw a TikTok of like Madeline Petsch's character Cheryl like floating and she's a witch, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what is going on
I know,
in
just
Riverdale?
fucking cancel it. How does it keep
It's
getting
done, it's done.
Oh, okay, good.
Season 6 is or whatever the next one is, 7 maybe is the last one.
Okay.
Talk about a show that never should have gotten 7 seasons
Never,
to begin with.
never.
Unbelievable.
And then I was texting you about the documentary. What's it when it's just one documentary? I guess about Kai.
Yeah, that's the documentary.
About what?
Kai
the hatchet wielding hitchhiker.
Oh,
Did
I
you
didn't
watch
watch
that?
that, but I keep getting fed it on Netflix. It's
Yeah.
like, is
Did
it
Penny's
you-
like, you don't know this meme. I'm like, dude, no. I don't
absolutely did. I was trying to explain it to mom and dad. I'm like, it was fucking everywhere when I was in college.
I don't know why. I just like
we
don't.
were young.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, but Kenny was like so appalled that I
Yeah,
didn't know who he was.
Smash some mash.
But
Is
it's
it good?
wild. Yeah, it's wild. Me and Kenny have like split beliefs on Kai.
Yeah.
I don't want to like.
The premise is he saved someone from getting murdered by murdering somebody, and then he actually murdered somebody later, right?
Yeah, and then like they say that like he said like he basically like roofied him, like they like smoked a blunt and he like
laced it with like angel dust and stuff.
Yeah, so like
wow.
But it gets into like his backstory as a kid, which his mom was so fucking full of shit.
Yeah, she's
an awful human.
Yeah, she's unbelievable as well.
Like even watching her, I was like, you're such a fucking
he's
liar.
Clearly like
he's
got bipolar.
Well, he's mentally ill. He was.
Wait, so he's alive in jail right now?
He's in jail right now.
And did the guy he hit with the butt of the hatchet survive?
Yes.
And is he interviewed?
No. They don't interview him, but they have footage from his trial because that's where he was like, I think he laced my weed.
Shit, yeah.
In general, though, I think that they do a really good job with their documentaries and their docuseries of really not having a specific opinion or point of view. Like I think
bias,
they really just lay out the information and let you, like the viewer, kind of determine
make the decision.
Yeah.
Yep.
So to sign off, though, I do have to say that our show ended at the exact same time that a show we were obsessed with announced a second season, and we're back before that show is. Where is Cruel Summer Season 2?
Oh my God. Are we ever getting a Cruel Summer Season 2?
No, and then I just saw like a trailer for another season, or a new show. I forget what it was called, but it was like writers of Cruel Summer. And I was like, where the fuck are they?
Yeah, right? So, U.S. Weekly, Cruel Summer Season 2, everything we know so far about Freeform's anthology series. Got a quick renewal. Series debuted in April of 2021, so this should be on par, right? Like, it usually takes a year. A year is fast. I would say a year and a half is normal, so that's where we're at right now, like a year and a half mark. A little longer.
So I guess it's not as long as we thought.
No.
But still, it's been as long as we haven't been a podcast.
This summer we get it, because it came early spring into summer.
Yeah.
We were into that, man.
Showrunner...
Mirrors.
Wait.
Mirrors.
We're all so convinced it was Mirrors.
It was Mirrors. Showrunner Tia Napolitano clarified that while the writers haven't even met to map out their next steps, they did have some aspects in mind already. Oh, that was in 2021. Okay, June of 2021, they said that. But this article is from 2023, so these articles are awful. They just like...
Dude, I won't even do it
they
anymore.
Lie. It's all
Google will
clickbait.
throw me an article. I'm like, things printed in the last week, and then it'll still take me to an article from like 4 years ago.
Yeah, so whatever. But you're right. We loved that.
Oh my God.
Well, this was fun.
Yeah.
This was really fun. I love you guys. Make it a annual or biannual thing.
We went from show to show. There's like this TikTok trend right now where it's like 3 celebrities on have you seen it? It's like 3 celebrities on like your head, and then you have to like link like say it was, I don't fucking know.
Like a 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon almost,
like a conversation?
How they all connect.
Yes, how they all connect. So
Yeah.
it's like this person was in this movie.
That's I love this.
That
already.
features this person who was in this.
Yes, and you have to like link the 3 of them, and that's like
Man, we
what
were just
we were
bobbing
doing
and
with
weaving
this. Like,
TV
you were like,
shows.
We
didn't
never
even
even talked about
Jenny
Wednesday.
or Ginny and Georgia.
We talked
We
about
did a little bit.
I mean,
we started with
barely.
it. Wednesday, I just will say I was really late to the game. They dropped it in November, late November, which it felt like was an
so
odd
annoyed
thing.
about.
Drop it in October.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be
please.
September. They pushed it back twice before it finally came out.
Yeah.
Give us a spooky season show. I fucking
Didn't
live for
matter.
that.
Didn't
Hey, we
affect the
got 2 of
numbers.
them. We got Midnight Club and we got the Cabinet of Curiosities in October, and they were fucking awesome.
I didn't watch the
I didn't
Cabinet
watch
of
either of
Curiosities.
those.
Cabinet of
but-
Curiosities is unbelievably good.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Wednesday was
Wednesday,
great.
I for some reason was just putting it off and putting it off. Like I just wanted to watch Christmas movies, and then like when I finally did, I was like, damn. The pilot, I was like, that was good. I can't believe that this show blew up so big. And then by the time I was done, I was like, fuck, that was awesome.
It was
just
so good.
it made me feel great. I'm like, this is a good ass show.
That show, I treated myself to just watching one a day and made it like a week experience, and I preferred doing it that way because I was savoring every episode.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
I liked that a lot.
I loved that.
But yeah, then we hit them all, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty. We didn't touch House of the Dragon or any of the like big.
Well, I
gigantic...
fell off of that. I watched like the second
Oh
or third
my
episode and was like,
God.
I don't want to
It
watch
was phenomenal.
I should give it a go
Well,
again.
I mean, we'll just have to do more of these in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
J'adore the House of the Dragon.
Yeah. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed in a bit, maybe subscribe. We might have more stuff dropping once in a while.
I don't know.
Okay.
After those 2 1-star reviews, my ego is shot.
Well, we know we have one listener, my friend Justin, who just just had a baby like 2 days ago. Her name's Emmy. She's so cute.
Aww.
Shout out Justin. If you're listening to this, you're on paternity leave, possibly.
No, maybe that's who had us as their number one show on Spotify.
Justin. Anyway, that was great. My favorite app. Kids, so good to talk to you.
I know. We
See you in a year.
Yeah.
Toonie for next year.
Toonie for next year.
Toonie anytimey.
The
With
real ones
Mina.
know.
Mina knows.
Mina and Banana.
Banana nudgins.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.